know why I came. Don't know why I came. Don't know why. Don't know why I came. Don't know why.
Today we have Greg Palmer. How you doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. And how long have you been a professional?
Well, I was a professional for 2 years, and then I took about 3 years off, and now I'm going back into it now.
All right, that's great. Where are you originally from?
Maryland,
Maryland.
Salisbury, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore.
And how did you grow up? Did you grow up with a middle class family, high class family?
I'd say middle class, upper middle, good living, good family.
And how did you get into the game of basketball? Did somebody in your family get you into it?
Yeah, my dad did. My dad put a goal up at our house, and just at first he made me shoot, made me play, and I didn't want to, but then I started to love it.
And when did you start to figure out that okay, I'm gonna start taking basketball a little bit seriously?
Um, Probably around high school. Probably around high school when I decided I really wanted to play in college and I didn't want to stop playing is when I decided I really want to take it seriously because I didn't want it to end.
Did you have any type of like struggles during high school, like in terms of maybe height, or you probably wasn't that strong during that time?
Yeah, my biggest struggle was that where I went to high school was so weak that I didn't have any struggles. I went to a real small private school and it was too easy really. I felt I had struggles at the beginning of my college career because of how weak my competition was in high school.
So in a way, it didn't. Your high school level of play didn't really test you when it came to
Yeah,
college. Okay. And what did you? Where did you end up going for college?
Salisbury went. It's a Division 3 right in my hometown.
Oh, that's great. And how was it? That whole college recruitment process. Were you getting looks for any D1 or high D2 schools?
I got no looks whatsoever, to tell you the truth. I ended up walking on even at my hometown Division 3. Didn't play any minutes my freshman year at all. Scored 3 points the whole year, but then my second season I was all conference, averaged like 17 points a game, and had a good career after that.
So how was that experience? It's kind of like Frank Kaminsky that played for Wisconsin. Like he wasn't getting any playing time until his junior and senior year. But how was that transitioning from basically you wasn't getting any playing time to it sounds like you was kind of like the main guy your sophomore year?
It was just the way I saw it going for myself. It just seemed like the next logical step to me. That's just the way I saw myself in college was being the main guy, and I just put in the work in the off season before that season because I wasn't satisfied with my role as a freshman.
How do you think your coach at Salisbury? How do you think he prepared you for maybe the professional level?
I had a great coach. I really like my coach, Coach Holmes at Salisbury. He taught me really how to play the game, how to do little things, screens and reads, and help defense, and all the little things that I felt I didn't really know how to do going into it.
So he kind of prepared you for the overseas style in a way.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, now when we put in schemes and stuff defensively or offensively, I always feel comfortable with it. I always understand it, and I owe a lot of that to him.
So were you like you said you were all conference and you build your accolades up pretty well in college, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So once your final game of college is winding down, were you already settled into playing professionally, or were you still contemplating on maybe getting a job because you were coming from a small D3 school?
No, I was never considering getting a job. I was always I was always about playing, so I was just gonna do it one way or another. It was in my head always that that's what I was gonna do.
So you got done with your final game. Did you instantly get a agent, or did you just start training for a minute?
I was just always training. I think the next thing that I did after that was I went on a tour to Indonesia and and played on against some pros over there. I didn't get an agent until at least 6 months out of school.
It seems kind of weird. You played in Indonesia. A lot of guys say they went on a tour in Spain and Germany. I never heard Indonesia before.
I've been a lot of random places, man. I played in Indonesia for a tournament. I played in Macedonia in Europe. It's a small European country, and in Australia and Mexico, and now here in Spain.
So, how was that? Was that your first time going overseas when you went to Indonesia?
Yeah, it was first time overseas.
Okay, how was that experience, especially leaving your family? You were playing in your hometown basically all your life. How was that? You kind of branching off. How
It
was
was
that?
cool. It was cool. I was ready for it because I mean, like I said, I was just ready to do whatever came with playing basketball. So if it involved going somewhere new, I mean, I was ready to do that, and it was cool to have some new experiences.
And when you did the tour in Indonesia, did it kind of help your confidence? Were you playing pretty well down there, out there?
Yeah, 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 it was, and it did help a lot because we were playing against. I mean, it's not a real strong basketball country, but we're playing against their pros. They're grown men, and we're all college kids. So, like at first, we were pretty intimidated by them. They're like big, tall guys, some 7 footers, and but we ended up doing really well, and I played well too. So
So that kind of helped you. So did you start making connections on your own, or was it with your agent? Were y'all both working together on getting connections?
my agent actually never, my original agent never helped me get anything. The first thing I did was I played in the ABA, which is like a lower minor league in the States. I played ABA, and one of my coaches got me in touch with a different agent that got me to Macedonia, which is the first place that was really professional that I played, was Macedonia.
And did you enjoy Macedonia?
The place I didn't enjoy at all. It's a rough country. It's cold and a lot of mean people, but the basketball is really good. Like the fans are incredible over there, so that part of it was great.
So anything outside of basketball, you couldn't really deal with down up there.
It was tough. Yeah, it was tough over there, other than basketball.
Okay. And did you don't necessarily have to say how much you made, but was it decent amount once you coming back to the states? Maybe you could.
Um, in Macedonia,
Yeah.
Macedonia was good. It was 1,200 U.S. dollars a month plus everything paid for. So that was, I mean, to me, that's as a beginner, that's great.
Yeah, I was talking to Quentin McDuffie yesterday, and he was like, "It just all depends on your situation. If you're a college
Yeah,
kid coming straight out of college, you don't have any uh, like kids or a house note or anything like that. $1,000, $3,000 is pretty well. So
yeah.
once you finish, when do you start looking for your next job? I know a lot of guys say they wait to maybe the mid season, and a lot of guys they just keep networking throughout the season. When do you start
Yeah,
looking?
pretty much just never stop networking. Like as I get new video, I'll send it out. Like even in the middle of the season, whenever, just never stop networking, never stop getting in touch with people and trying to figure out your next move.
So after Macedonia, what was your next move?
My next move after that was Australia. I played on a fall tour team with a group called Athletes in Action, and my coach pretty much acted as my agent for that, and he got me set up with Australia.
How was that experience? Because I know Australia, that's one of those underrated countries that's really building their basketball competition over there.
Yeah, well, I was in the second league, but and the basketball is pretty solid. Second league, top league over there is really good. But overall, that was a great experience. Australia is the greatest country. I love my time there. Yeah, I'd love to go back sometime, play again.
And like you said, like they got pretty good competition in Australia. How was it testing your skills against maybe I know it's a few maybe other high level college players that may have played in that league that you were playing in.
Hmm.
How was it testing your skills against those guys?
Yeah, that was always the test when you'd have to be matched up with another import, another American. So if another team had their import played your position, that was always a game you knew you had to get up for because you knew you're going up against another strong player, another guy that's there trying to do this for a living, like you are. So those were always the biggest tests going up against other Americans.
And do a lot of teams put a lot of the weight on the import players because they're paying? I guess I know a lot of teams they don't necessarily play the other players, but pay the other players, but they'll pay the imports. Is it a lot of weight put on your shoulders?
It's really different depending on where you are. It was funny when I was in Macedonia. That's what I was expecting, was for it to be like that. But we had a point guard that was really good and a big 7 foot center that was really good. And they kind of really wanted me to be a role player. And then in Australia, yeah, they wanted me to do a bulk of the scoring. And then here in Spain, it's kind of like the players here are pretty good, Spanish players. So like they want me to carry my weight. There's a lot of pressure on me because I'm here getting paid and getting taken care of. So there's pressure from that standpoint, but I'm not necessarily looked at to be like the guys shooting the ball all the time.
I always wanted to ask this question. Like, do the guys that actually live in the country and they get paid, do they live kind of like lavishly, like how maybe an NBA player, probably not like as big as like LeBron or nobody, but do they live comfortably?
Well, I haven't been up at that high of a level yet, to tell you the truth. Like the levels I've been at, the local players get paid. They get paid, a little chunk of change, for practicing and everything. But it's, not usually much.
So once you got done with Australia, what was your next destination after that?
I had a knee injury at the end of my Australia thing, and I had to miss the next season after that, and then that kind of messed everything up for me. And then I had 3 years where I didn't play competitively at all.
Did that mess? Did that kind of mess with your psyche a little bit? Cause
So much,
not
a
much.
lot. Yeah,
So when you,
it was.
oh, you can go.
No, yeah, it was tough coming back from that, from not playing for 3 years. You're wondering if you could still do X, Y, and Z, and yeah, it's tough getting your confidence back, but it's a process.
So did you have to find new people to hang around with, or new people to help you get into maybe back into your rhythm?
No, it was just me on my own. Really, just it took a little bit of time, but I got back to working out every day like I always did, and got back to playing against the college guys in the area because I was still around home, and gotten some good competition there, and ended up feeling pretty good about where my game was at.
So once you got all the way comfortable, when was it where it was like, okay, I want to go back overseas and play again?
Oh, I always wanted to. I always wanted to. Um, and then a friend of mine who played in Mexico, he hooked me up with the Mexico thing that I had this summer, and that was my first time back playing. Was in Mexico this past summer.
And how that was kind of a humbling experience because we talked before. You was
Uh,
saying like you was pretty much you got to play for scraps, and you was pretty much playing for scraps playing down there, and it wasn't really a good experience. How
yeah,
humbling was it to play from Macedonia and Australia, and now you're playing in Mexico, and it's not really a good situation for yourself?
I was just excited to be playing again. Period, because I was so. Once you haven't played for that long, you pretty much have never played. Now in people's minds,
Mm-hmm.
um, they think you've lost it. They think you have no proof that you can still play until you have video, um, which obviously you helped me with my time in Mexico. So I was just excited to have opportunity to actually be playing again and proving myself again and getting used to it again.
So pretty much money wasn't a real factor in playing in Mexico. It was just playing professional basketball again, getting my name back out.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't worried about it.
So when you made the huge jump from Mexico, and I saw the video, it wasn't too much of competition. You was pretty much doing real easy down there. You made the huge jump to Spain. how is that? I know you've been playing a lot of preseason games. How is that big jump in going from Mexico to Spain?
The biggest jump here wouldn't necessarily be the talent or the physical ability of the players. They're more talented and they're better players here. But the biggest thing would be the structure of play here. It's so structured and it's so fundamentally sound and it's so team oriented, which is the opposite of Mexico. The basketball in Mexico is so bad as far as team play, as far as spacing and ball movement and all these kind of things. Those things here are everything. That's what they really care about. So
So
that's the biggest adjustment.
just like your coach in Salisbury, I think I said it right, but
Yeah, you said it right.
yeah he taught you all those, so it was everything's coming around again basically for you.
Yeah, yeah, it really was.
And how are you enjoying your experience in Spain right now, as far as with the
It's
team?
as far as with what?
With the team, like,
It's great. It's great. Great guys. Can't really communicate with them much other than a couple of them, but they're cool guys. And I've had an injury. I've been out for the past month, but I'm just getting back now. So I've missed a lot of stuff this preseason, but our season's just starting and we're 1-0, so things are going well.
okay, for the little time that you were playing with them, does your style fit the team well?
Yeah, I think it fits great. I'm really excited to start getting used to things and getting acclimated to being in the lineup again. I think I really fit in well with the style.
And how's your living conditions been over there?
Great, great. Got an apartment, got my own room with the other import. Um, so yeah, it's comfortable. Everything's good.
So all in all, this is pretty much the most professional team you've been with so far.
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely.
Okay. And what's some of your strengths that you bring to the table?
I'm a shooter first and foremost, outside shooter, but I can do a lot more than that. I'm a scorer too. I've got good size, 6'6", playing the wing. I can pretty much play 2 through 4. Um, I'm versatile, especially on offense, handling the ball and posting up and mid range scoring.
And what would you say is an ability you need to work on a little bit more?
Always want to work on my on the ball defense and always working on my body, trying to get stronger and more athletic.
Okay. And since I'm winding down with the interview now, where do you see yourself playing professionally in the next maybe 3 to 5 years? What league? Maybe Euro League,
There's
CBA.
no telling, man. I want to stay over here in Europe. Definitely move up from here. I'd love to still be in Spain, but a league or two higher than the one I'm in now would be great because I'm loving Spain and there's a lot of opportunity to advance. So I'd love to still be in Spain, but in a higher league.
So it seems like you're more on competition more than just money. Money seems like it's not really on your mind. It's more about the competition.
Yeah, I'm trying to get established as a player, but yeah, it's getting to the point where a little bit of money would be nice. But
So,
I think next year I should be able to make okay money.
mm. So it seems like you're also finding uh, you're learning your worth now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And after basketball, where do you see yourself going into?
Either coaching or training, like skill training, one of those two.
Do you want to? Do you ever think about staying in Spain, or you want to go back to your hometown and maybe help out with more players?
I'm thinking, at this point, I envision myself going back home, but I've only been here about a month and a half, and I love it here so far. So I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities for me to stay here.
Like I asked Quentin McDuffie, have you heard about the Lamar Odom situation?
Hmm.
What do you feel? Like one of the guys made a comment, Master P. I don't know if you know him. Are you familiar with him? He
Hmm.
made a comment that he feels like Kobe is being phony. And what is your insight on that?
On specifically that comment about Kobe.
Yeah, on that or in general, just the whole situation.
I won't comment on the Kobe thing. I could see it going either way. I don't know either of them personally, so I don't know. But as far as the whole thing in general, to me, it shows that there's nothing you can do or accomplish or get that will make you happy. Because Lamar Odom's, he's had it all. He's done everything I could ever have wanted to do, win an NBA championship, and still clearly has his struggles and has his bad days, to say the least. Just shows that you can't get anything that's going to make you happy. It's got to come from you.
All right. Thank you, and I wish you great luck in Spain, and hope you do well off your injury.
Huh? What you say her name was? Hannah. Yeah, that's what she said her name was.